What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week, we're reviewing a sauce named Little Red Fox. I don't know too much about it. It's a restaurant from Washington, D.C. It's local. That's all I could find about it. But let's talk about Washington, D.C. So again, we went through all the 50 states. I decided to throw in District of Columbia for this as well. A few interesting tidbits. The Capitol building and the White House were not designed by Americans. And the Smithsonian is named after a Brit who never set foot in America. There is an empty crypt below the Capitol building in which George Washington was supposed to be kept after he died, but never happened. Tell you, the Illuminati, right? Up until 1961, DC residents could not vote for the president, and they still don't have senators. DC actually gets more rain than Seattle does. I know Seattle gets a lot of... It's actually more misting. Yeah, Washington, D.C. actually gets more legit rain. So, the National Cathedral is known to have many wacky gargoyles, one of them being Darth Vader. Alright, so both the Minnesota Twins and the Texas Rangers used to be the Washington Senators, right? However, they were bought off much like real senators, so... Famous people from Washington, D.C. include Gabinga Akinagbe. He's famous for being Chris Partlow in The Wire. And he was, I forget the guy's name in The Deuce. Jonathan Banks, who played Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. As well as Buzz Hickey on one of my favorite shows, Community. Yeah. John Bernthal, who played the Punisher and Shane from Walking Dead. Sideshow Kevin Durant, NBA All-Star, Olympic, all-time leading scorer for the U.S., who basically has more beef on the internet than ButcherBox. And he has the longest, silliest feet I've ever seen. Connie Chung, who was the very first Asian and second woman to be a part of the national news. And she's also the wife of Maury Povich. Bill Nye, he's a science man or something like that. I don't know. He wears a bow tie. And another Sideshow Bob impersonator, Marty Friedman, former lead guitarist of Megadeth. So now let's look at the packaging. So it is a paper label. You can feel how coarse it is. It's got a cute little fox in it. You know, it's a red little fox. I actually like the font on hot sauce. That's all it really says. So it doesn't even say Little Red Fox. Oh yeah, it does. It says it right there, but it's really hard to see. I mean, it's just nice and simple. But the ingredients in this include smoked Thai bird chili, smoked tomato, garlic, vinegar, and salt. Pretty simple sauce. I expect it to have a smoky flavor if it's got smoked peppers and smoked tomatoes. Speaking of tomatoes, the ingredient we're going to discuss this week are tomatoes. I know we're used to seeing the red ones, but they come in many different varieties. I mean, we're talking like there's purple, there's yellow, there's, pink, even black. And then there's colorful rainbow ones like the heirloom tomatoes, which are very delicious, by the way. In Spain, the city of Buñol has the largest tomato fight in the world. It involves about 40,000 people, and they throw about 150,000 tomatoes. Yeah, so... I'm glad they're not wasting food or anything. There are basically 10,000 varieties of tomatoes. Heinz ketchup. Alright, I know that we're getting into a different ingredient, but Heinz ketchup literally has a speed limit. If you pour it out and it pours out faster than 0.028 miles per hour, it is considered too watery and therefore cannot be one of its products. These originated in South America and were first used in food by the Aztecs. Before we get any further, let's hear from this week's sponsor. What happens if you're on a date but need an exit strategy? What happens if your friends aren't able to bail you out of that situation? We here at Third Wheel have your solution. Use our app to have us call you with a fake emergency, or we can even send in one of our actors to pretend to be a childhood friend and crash your date. You can even schedule these services in advance. Our actor can even join you and be a buffer on your date if need be. Third Wheel. An excuse is closer than you think. Now for the moment of truth. It smells very smoky. It smells like chilies, but it's more like a smoky scent. Touch of garlic. That's probably what I'm smelling there. Now this one did have one of those dropper openings. It took me, had to use a shoehorn to get it out. I hate those things. You know, it restricts the flow, restricts my right to douse my food in as much sauces, right? My freedoms. Alright, as you can see, it's a orangish, reddish color. That's expected with the bird's eye chilies. They're typically red. Tomato as well. So this is expected to be a red sauce, and this is, yeah, pretty much like almost like a blood orange color. But alright, well, here we go. Okay, definitely a lightweight sauce. It's not bad. I like tomatoes. Maybe the taste of the tomatoes a little bit too prevalent. I would have probably liked a little bit more Thai pepper in this. What little burning you felt, or I felt, was on the tip of my tongue, which is expected. It should be quick. Could also probably use a little bit more salt, to be honest with you. It just needs a little bit more seasoning and a little bit more kick. I think it's pretty versatile. You know, I think you could put it on, any type of breakfast eggs, especially like scrambled, frittatas, anything to that effect, over easy. I would probably use it in soups, especially tomato based. Anything that has tomato in it, I think this would be a good complement to, or anything that maybe ketchup might go on. Although I don't really throw ketchup on too much stuff myself, but I mean, I could see throwing this on some fries or having it as a dip for fries. You can taste the pepper though in this, which is a good flavor. And considering it's the #1 ingredient here, I was a little shocked that it wasn't spicier. If I was at the restaurant, would I pick up a bottle of this? Probably not. There are better hot sauces out there. It's fine, but again, like the Papa Lin's was a little bit more. It was kind of like in line with the Papa Lin's, but that one had a little bit more, maybe a stronger tomato taste, but it also had a stronger kick to it. So I would compare it to that. Again, the smokiness is pretty nice though. It does give it a nice flavor. But again, not my usual. Again, I'll probably favor more like Scotch bonnets or hotter, or just something with a little bit more flavor. Next week, it is our 100th episode. And so I will be reviewing a sauce from my current city, Austin, Texas. This one is going to be Teardrop's Golden Habanero Sauce. So until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.